Hello everyone, welcome back to Secret Things. Today, we will share the secret things about England that you should know. England is a tiny nation in Europe with lush green hills and never-ending rain. But in addition to its picturesque surroundings, it is also the location of some of the world's oldest antiquities. Many well-known and powerful people have called England home, and it is also the location of some of the most well-known historical sites. Here are secret things about England that you should know. England and Scotland joined to form the United Kingdom on May 1, 1707. The purpose of the union was to strengthen the alliance between the kingdoms of Scotland and England by bringing them together. Ireland and Wales joined the coalition with Scotland and England on January 1, 1801. England is part of the British Isles situated in Europe. The total size of the largest landmass in England is 50,346 square miles or 130,395 square kilometers. As a collective, the United Kingdom is Europe's 12th largest land area. England is around the same size as Greece, making it the 16th largest European country. In the sport of cheese rolling, participants chase a round of cheese down a hill. Sounds strange. Visitors from all over the world come to Gloucester throughout the spring to see and take part in this unusual sport. The strange occurrence is thought to have begun in the 15th century and has pagan roots. In England, there are around 1,500 castles, ranging in condition from ruins to completely functional. A castle is a fortified building constructed to safeguard the royal family or other important individuals. The precise number that still exists in England at this time is uncertain because many have been destroyed throughout the years by weather and war. Wales, a neighboring country, boasts the most castles worldwide. Despite the fact that there is evidence of human habitation in England dating back more than 800,000 years, the Anglo-Saxons were the first people to name themselves English. Around the 5th century AD, Germanic tribes from southern Denmark and northern Germany started migrating to England after the Romans had left. The Union Jack, which represents the United Kingdom, is sometimes confused for the flag of England. The St. George's Cross, which has a white background and a red cross, is the official flag of England. Originating in the late Middle Ages in the 10th century, it came to be identified with St. George, the patron saint of soldiers. Tim Berners-Lee, an English computer scientist, founded the World Wide Web. The World Wide Web was initially created in 1989 to keep university-based scientists connected and able to share information. There is a misconception that the internet was created by an American scientist. While some people consider Machu Picchu to be an ancient, mystical wonder of the world, it is actually quite young when compared to other ancient ruins in England. Stonehenge, a historical site in the west of England, is made up of stones arranged in a circle and is thought to have existed there between 3000 and 2000 BC. Each stone is around 13 feet or 4.0 meters tall and weighs about 25 tons or 25,000 kilograms. London is home to one of the largest book collections in the world, despite the fact that it is occasionally maintained that the Library of Congress is the same size. Over 160 million items, including books and manuscripts, are housed in the British Library. The library has a total of 14 floors, including 9 above ground and 5 below. It was built in 1973. In addition, it has 260,000 journals and over 4 million maps, some of which are over 3,000 years old. There is a garden in the north of England that is home to only the most lethal and poisonous plants. The Poison Garden, which is part of Alnwick Castle's grounds, has about 100 lethal plants. After seeing the Italian Medici Poison Garden, Jane Percy, Duchess of Northumberland, created the Poison Garden. She hired an architect in 1996 to assist her in planning and constructing this notorious plant garden. Even though England and France may not have a similar culture or language, they are close geographically. France is the EU nation closest to England, with just 21 miles or 34 kilometers of ocean separating the two. Between Dover in England and Calais in France is where the English Channel is at its closest. Although the rolling hills of England are famously green, there are actually a few tiny mountain ranges there. Scafell Pike, at 3,208 feet or 978 meters, is the highest peak in England. Northern England's Lake District National Park is home to Scafell Pike. Since England is a small island, the water is never far away. The farthest place in England from any coastline is the village of Cotton in the Elms in Derbyshire. The closest coastline is located 112 kilometers or 70 miles from the village. The sea is closer to everywhere else in England. Women have been accused of being witches for years and have even been burned at the stake for it, yet this still happens in England. The Wicca religion, usually referred to as pagan witchcraft, first appeared in England at the turn of the 20th century. Although there have been versions of the religion for hundreds of years, Gerald Gardner introduced it to the general public in 1954, and it has since gained popularity in England. Because of the rites and spiritual connections formed during religious practices, a large portion of the adherents to the faith refer to themselves as witches. Over 50,000 persons in England identified as pagans and over 11,000 as Wiccans in the 2011 census. There is a house amid Exmouth's undulating hills that is fully shell decorated. With a group of female friends and family members, Jane Parmenter traveled around Europe in 1784, picking up souvenirs as she went. She frequently gathered seashells, and when she got home, she made the decision to have a rural retreat created. The 6th century architecture and other structures they came across while traveling served as inspiration for the 16-sided structure known as Alarand. When the structure was finished, she planned to decorate the interior entirely with shells she had brought back from her trips. Throughout English history, Robin Hood has been a mythical figure, and his name is known all over the nation. Even streets, beaches, and wooded areas bear his name. His name was initially recorded in the 14th century, although the character has altered over the ages alongside England. Although it is challenging to identify a specific individual as Robin Hood, it is believed that the figure was invented to stand in for any brave person who assisted the underprivileged. When we look back at World War II, we see the destructive events in mainland Europe as this was where most of the war occurred. But on September 7, 1940, London was bombed by the Luftwaffe, the Nazi Air Force during the Second World War. This intimidating event was known as the Blitz, the German word for lightning. The word Blitz was first used by the British press to describe the ongoing event and became the name that is remembered today. The bombing campaign lasted for 57 days and 56 nights until it ceased on May 11, 1941. Shakespeare, an English poet, playwright, and actor, was born there. William Shakespeare was born at Stratford-upon-Avon, Warwickshire, England, on April 26, 1564. He produced at least 40 plays in his career, the most well-known of which are Hamlet, Romeo and Juliet, and Macbeth. You might have in mind traditional English food like fish and chips, or at the very least something that involves potatoes and gravy as the country's national cuisine. However, chicken tikka masala is really recognized as England's official national dish. There are numerous claims regarding the location and date of its creation, but the most popular one states that a Bangladeshi chef invented the curry-inspired dish in Glasgow in 1970. According to legend, the meal was developed by a cook who wanted to impress a local and decided to reduce the spice of his chicken tikka by adding a light tomato sauce. It has gained popularity across the country and is a great illustration of their capacity to understand many cultures. Even though it might sound disgusting, the meal is a favorite in England. Since the 18th century, people in England, notably in London, have consumed gelid eels. This is due to the fact that they created a nutrient-dense dish and were plentiful in the Thames River. They are typically cut into little pieces, boiled with spices, and then let to cool, creating a gelid stock all around them. They are usually consumed cold to ensure that their texture is preserved. England has always been impacted by people around the world, whether they are new settlers or nearby nations. This little but charming nation is home to some of the most important historical figures and stunning buildings. As it accepts a wide variety of people and cultures from throughout the world, it will continue to develop.